Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaita Amritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadeshinim Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Charnu Ramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Bande Jagat Gurum. We were discussing about the Karma Yoga, and in the Karma Yoga it came to Yajna. So we discussed in our last classes what is Yajna and why a person should do the Yajna. Now, Yajna means Kamya Karma, because with a desire to fulfill some desire, some prayers, we are performing the Yajna. When the Yudhishthira performed that Yajna, Ashwamedha Yajna, then someone asked him, "You are a man of religion, you are a son of Dharma, Dharmaputra, Yudhishthira. How could you do it? So why you are performing this Yajna which is actually for some purposes?" So Kamya Karma, Kamya means you have some desire, and to fulfill that desire you are taking the help of religion, that karma, that work you are doing. Is it not bad? Then in the Banaparva, Yudhishthira gave the reply and he said, Naham karma phala anneshi, na aham karma phala anneshi. Annesha is the searching. I am not searching for the result of any action, result of any work. Rajaputri charam muta dadami deyamitteva yajne yajnashta bhi yajne yashtabhyamituta. He says, dadami deyamitteva. I am giving just for the sake of giving. I don't expect anything in return. Yajne yashtabhya mituta. And whenever the yajna I am performing for the sake of the yajna only, then he said, that is the word that was used in the Mahabharata, dharma banijyako hina. Banijya means the business. When the dharma, religion, used for some particular purpose, it is a banijya, it is a vyapara, and it is a business, give and take. So that hina jaganya dharmavadinam, that is the lowest, and we have no words to condemn that. So, hina jaganya dharmavadinam. So they are, though they are utilizing the dharma, using the religion, but when they are performing, doing that religion for the purpose of this, they are the worst kind of people. I never do that. That is the Yudhishthira, he said. And then in the 17th sloka, which we have already read together, do you have 17? Yastatma ratireva syat atma triptascha manava atmaneva cha santushta tasya karyam na vidyate. Now here another, whenever you are doing any work, any action that you are doing, immediately result is coming. But even if you do the work, perform something, you will never get the result of that if it says Atma Rati Eva Syad. Atma Rati, when I am doing it for my own self enjoyment. This self is not as we usually use in the ordinary way, my self enjoyment. No. This self means for my divine spirit. When I am doing that for my elevation of the divine spirit, that Atmarati, Atmatripta, and is constantly in joy without depending on anything outside. Atmatripta, Atmasantushta, he is contented with that. So that is the three things he is telling. Yes, Atmarati reva syat, Atmatriptascha manava, Atmaneva cha santushta, tasya karyam na vidyate. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he is going to house, he is talking with the devotees, and whomever he met, he is talking only about the God, and he is encouraging them to follow a divine life, spirited life, and that is for his own Atmarati. Not that they will become his followers, not that they will appreciate him, not that they will give him money in return, nothing for that. He is doing that with a purpose that let me go and help them, or otherwise ultimately they will suffer. That is the purpose of any dharmika. So it goes on in telling like this: the man who is devoted to the self, is capital, self means the God, and is established with the self and content in the self alone, has no obligatory duty. And on the 18th sloka it says, Naivatasya krite nartho na krite neha kaschana na chasya sarvabhuteshu kaschid artha vyapasrayah tasmad asakta satatam karyam karma samachara asakta hi acharan karma paramapnoti purushaha. In 18 and 19 it says that therefore, tasmad, therefore. Why therefore? Because first in the 17th he has already explained, if you are self-contented, you have realized God, and whatever you are doing for a purpose, for the God, then you can do work, tasmat. So therefore no problem. Naiva tasya krite nartha na krite neha kaschana. And it says like this in the 18th sloka, he has no object in this world to gain. those who goes to expound the scripture, explaining the scripture, and going on giving talks on God with a purpose only to bring home about the conception of God to the ordinary people. For them there is no result. But if they are going, that is the very subtle and very difficult step that I was telling. The religious people, dharma palan, dharma shiksha. They should perform, they should practice the dharma, and they should go and expound it. And the second part, it is very difficult. Swami Vivekananda, he has given the motto of the Ramakrishna mission for the devotees and for the monks of the Sri Ramakrishna. He said, Atmana mokshartham, for the liberation of the own self. Atmana moksha. That means you should, through these, realize God. And at the same time, the second part, Jagat hitaya cha. When you are performing that, the world also all around you are also being benefited. Jagat hitaya cha. Cha is and. So both are related. So when the cha means both are related, you are doing this, this will also be. Now, but the second part, as we call mission, what is the mission? To spread the words of God to the people so that they can also become happy, they can also realize God, they can understand that there is a life above this present life that we are thinking and living. So that is called dharma shiksha. But the problem is, dharma palan is all right. But the moment the dharma shiksha comes, there comes the appreciation, there comes the criticism, there comes different type of the web thoughts. If that part of you, then it is very difficult. So that is for those who are in an isolated place, in the caves, in the forest, living all alone, somehow going and begging some food for him, and all alone, not mixing with anyone, not doing anything. So that person, his mind is not coming again and again with this type of challenges. But the moment you are living with the people, thinking about the people, talking with people, trying to help them in different way, all the result will come, either appreciation or a criticism. So the result will be coming on what? Your mind. If the mind is agitated, or that means you are accepting those things, and the moment you are accepting either criticism or praise, you are accepting the result also. So this is the problem. So one should be very, very careful about this thing. So Ramakrishna mission devotees, they are also doing wonderful job. If you go in America, there are so many private study circles are there. And the small groups of people in different places. So we always go to them, and particularly New York and New Jersey and all other places. We go, a small group, they spend their money, they purchase our ticket, and then they give also some pranami to us. All these things they are doing only to listen something. And at the same time they are organizing other people, they are inviting other people to come over there, hiring a hall. That way they are also doing dharma sthapana work. They are also part and parcel of the dharma sthapana. And at the same time, by doing that, when they are listening and practicing atma moksha. So atma moksha, jagat hita, these two things are going on. But they too should be careful about this. The result should not come. Otherwise, the same work will be cause of the bindings. So again and again, that is the main thing that a holy person should suggest, always be conscious about his own work, and at the same time he should go on reminding the devotees, the followers, that this is the trap, that we should not go in there. So, here in the scripture, Bhagavan Sri Krishna himself is telling, Tasmat asakta satatam, therefore, do thou always perform action which are obligatory without attachment. That is very, very important. That is called karma yoga. Karma and yoga. If you are performing the work without attachment, then what will happen? Each and every action, some result will be there. But whatever the result is coming with this type of action, I am not accepting it. What will happen? That will lead you towards God, ultimately. So, that is the thing it says, obviously you should perform this obligatory work without attachment. By performing action without attachment, one attains to the highest. Now, there is just to touch about this philosophical debates. Shankara says, through karma one cannot get liberation. Why? Karma has the result, good or bad. But through karma, performing in an unattached way, you can clean your mind. That is the result is coming. So, he says jnana is the only path, jnana is the only way. Through jnana only, what is that jnana? I am that Brahman, aham brahmasmi. Through this knowledge, but the knowledge, before this knowledge will come to you, before the dawn of this knowledge, there are so many other things are there. You can remove those hurdles, barriers through karma. That is all right. And here is the problem. I will come to that. This jnani, karma by the jnani. So, we will come in that way. It says again and again, but because of that conception, particularly a time came when people started giving away all the work, and that division became secular and sacred. If you are in the temple, if you are cutting the vegetable in the temple, if you are dressing the vegetable in the temple, or cooking or sweeping, doing all this menial work in the temple is a religious work. And same thing if you are doing in your house or in the society is a mundane work. That was a wrong conception. That Swami Vivekananda removed afterwards. We will come to that. So, tasmat, therefore, satatam karyam karma samachara, you must continue regularly, every moment, perform that action, asakta, without any result. So, I was listening to one of the mothers, she came, American lady, her son has gone to protest against the pipeline that is coming, something is happening in the North Dakota and somewhere. So, he has nothing to do with that, and he has gone over there to be with the hundreds of people to protest against the decision that the authority has taken. And I don't know clearly, as she was telling that the pipeline was supposed to go through the neighborhood where the whites were there, because the whites they protested. So, now they are changed the place. Now they are forcing through the Native Americans, and these people, they cannot protest, they don't have strength. So, other Americans from different parts of the America, they have gone over there. They don't know each other, but for the cause, now you are torturing these people unnecessarily. If you have to do, why not there? And if you cannot there, then you should not do over here too. That is the protest. This is a good cause, supporting something. And we have to come some condition that that pipeline which is bringing the oil, which will be helping us to generate the power which is necessary for day-to-day life to move in the modern society, that is also necessary. And in between something we should understand what to do and what not to do. It's a good purpose. We are protesting against something which is not good. But at the same time, we have to understand that in the society, some type of work is also necessary. Suppose it is a vacant land, nothing is there, only some of the remnants of the ancient people. So just to the remembering, so all these causes are there. That type of work there. But the people who have gone over there to protest, they are doing it unselfishly. That is true. But at the same time, if their protest is going against the good work for the society, that is also bad. I am bringing this picture why? I do not know much about that movement, but the thing is, if this is a good work that I am going and supporting those people who are weak, so I am standing by their side, good. But supporting that way, and I don't need anything, only I am supporting, I don't know them, I have no relation, good, very good thing. But at the same time, if the work that you are doing, by performing that, you are harming a good work, that result is also bad. Very difficult. So that's why, and the majority of the people, they washed their hands and they took up their hands and told nothing, we are not going to do any work. Chodo. So that way, this happened in India. People started thinking there is a secular work and sacred work. We will do the sacred work. Swami Vivekananda came and he removed that wrong notion. He said that any work for the benefit of the society, for the people, that you are doing without expecting anything in result, that is a sacred work. So Sister Nivedita, the great lady, she wrote in the introductory in the introduction of the complete works of Swami Vivekananda, to him there was no sacred or secular, everything was sacred. So that is the teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. And here we find as a support in the Yoga Vasishta. Yoga Vasishta said, Mama nasti kritena artha na kritena neha kaschana yatha praptena tishtami hi akarmani ka agraha. Yoga Vasishta, it says, if by doing karma I am not accepting any result, Jnani, I know this world is illusory, is a maya, temporary, but still I perform the work for the betterment of others who are not understanding that. When that work, by performing that, I am not accepting any result, then why not do that? Why should I have to stop that work? Yoga Vasishta, in a very strong way, he said. So why should I not do? Because I have the capacity to control my mind, not to accept the result. But I know by performing that, some people will be benefited. Like, suppose a person is highly educated, he has taken sannyas. Now, after taking the sannyas, he told, no, I am not going to do anything. In the beginning, it is all right. But when you are established in your own knowledge, and then you see that that will help your that knowledge, maybe engineering, maybe medical, maybe other, so you can help people, and you have the capacity, power, not to be eluded by the result that will come after that. You are confident, then why not do that? So that is the Yoga Vasishta, and again we will find different places people are talking about this. This is the wonderful way this argument is going on. Now, from 20 to 30 we will study, and then if there is time we will explain. Karmanaiva hi samsiddhi astita janakadaya loka samgraha me vapi sampyarsam kartumarhasi yad yadacharati shrestha tattat evetaro janaha. This is itaro janaha. Sajat pramanam kurute lokas tadanuvartate. Then the Krishna says, Name parthasti kartyabhyam trishu lokeshu kinchana nanabhaptam abhaptyabhyam bharta evacha karmani yadi aham nabarteyam jatu karman atandrita mama vartmanuvartante manushya partha sarvasha Saktya karman abhiddhamso. Any 25? Oh. Yeah. Utsideshu ime loka na kuryam karma chedam shankarasya chakarta syat upahanya ima praja sakta karman abhidyamso yatha kurvanti bharata kurjat vidyams tatha sakta chikirshu loka samgraham na buddhi bhedam janayed Ajnanam karma sanginam yojayet sarva karmani vidyani yukta samacharan prakrite kriyamanani Gunai karmani sarvasha ahamkara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate tattavittu mahabaho Guna karma vibhagayo Guna guneshu vartante Iti matva na sajjate prakriti guna sammudha sajjante guna karmasu Tana Krishna Vido Mandan Krishna Binna Vichalayet Mai Sarvani Karmani Samnyasya Adhyatma Chetasa Nirashi Nirmamo Bhutva Yuddhasya Vigata Jaraha. Now, this is the Karma Yoga. Slowly, it's going on. It says, Karma Naiva Hisam Siddhi Astita Janakadaya. Now, this Janaka, and there are 2-3 Janakas were there at the one time, but we know about one who was very famous, who was the father of Sita, and that Janaka, he was a Brahmagyani, knower of Brahman. At the same time, he was a king, an administrator. So, this is a unique combination. One who is doing the administration, obviously, he needs to ask people to follow his words. And for that, he has to impose his words, whatever I say, that do. Now, the Brahmagyani cannot have the I consciousness. If I am not having that particular idea that I am, then how can I work? But the Janaka, he was having both. Though he was having the knowledge, at the same time, he was practical, and he was a king doing the administration of a kingdom, not an ordinary small thing. So, that is why again and again we find the reference of Janaka. Even the person like Shukadeva, who is considered the highest among all the sannyasins, he went to Janaka for learning. So, this is the Janaka, it says, and we find that Janaka also, Karmanaiva Hisam Siddhi Asthita Janakadaya. Verily, by action alone, Janaka and others attained perfection. So, in the Bhagavad Gita, it is always supporting about the karma. But very peculiarly, a time came after Shankara and others, the India started understanding, the people understanding the wrong understanding, that work is bad, because from the work we get the result. So, here it says, verily by action alone, Janaka and others attain perfection. You are, whatever work you are doing, not compared with the Janaka, King Janaka. And Janaka was the king of Mithila. It was a very big kingdom. So, obviously, if a person, he could do these, why not you? What work you are doing? So, that's why they are giving the example, if Janaka could do it, why not you? Simply with the view for the guidance of men, thou shouldest perform action. Now, you are trying to realize God. And the moment we think to realize God, we always think to go away from the world and always think, I have nothing to do with the world. Sri Ramakrishna said, in the beginning it is necessary. In the last Sunday we were reading the Gospel, and there Sri Ramakrishna said, in the beginning, neti neti, not these, not these. That is the step that is the way that the Jnanis, those who are following the Jnana Marga, they take not these, not these. All these things that we see, it is not necessary. Now, tomorrow I will go to give a talk on the karma according to Mahabharata. in the Hindu temple lament. What is the karma? Because we know so everything that is bad is the word karma. But the Mahabharata, it says, this is also one of the Purusharthas. Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. These are the 4 goals for every human life. The first is the Dharma, then the Artha. And the moment Artha is there, money is there, naturally Kama, the desire. Otherwise, what we are going to do with the Artha? Of course, in India now Artha has Anartha. Artha has become Anartha, they are all throwing it. Only a few months before, if they had thrown it, they would have been accepted as a great personality, and maybe that's the poor people whom they were giving that money, they could have made his image and worship him as God. Now they are doing as in the night only, throwing the same money without utilizing. So this is called the binding, this is the problem for action, but if we know it, then there is no problem. And in the Mahabharata, they say, who is a rich man is giving the definition. They said, if you are having the 3 months possession with you, you are a rich man. You don't need anything more, sufficient for you. Because you know that something is there with me and I can continue. So this is the way our society, it was moving. There certainly some other sources came, particularly from the West, as we call it. So all grab and enjoy, because there is nothing else after this life. We don't know what is going to happen. And only thing they is to get the solace, whatever bad thing you do, and no problem, go and give some money to the church and you are free. That was a wrong conception. So Bhagavad Gita once again was necessary, and that continued in our society for more than 800 years, all that type of thought. So it was necessary for a very strong person to reestablish the true knowledge. So Sri Ramakrishna Vivekananda came. Why we say 2 names in the same breath? Because Sri Ramakrishna and Vivekananda are not 2, they are 1. Though their 2 names are there, their 2 bodies are there, but their spirit and the goal are same. So that's why Sri Ramakrishna, the tremendous power was necessary. First, to show that I can become happy, more powerful, more acceptable without having those worldly things. Knowledge, you say, certificates of the universities, I don't care. You say that whether I can write a poetry or can publish or can lecture, I don't care. And the social status, I don't care. Money, I don't care. But still I can become a great personality full of joy, happiness, contentment and tremendous power to vanquish all those people who are that way educated and literate, intelligent, nothing, no compare. People started accepting him, Sri Ramakrishna, that he is a man of God, otherwise where from this power came? Then came Swami Vivekananda. In a very rational way, scientifical way, he started giving the Vedanta. Where from he was quoting and giving? From the scripture. And main scripture that he always quoted, Bhagavad Gita. Why? Because Bhagavad Gita is the condensed of the Vedanta. All the 4 Vedas and the Upanishads and other books, whatever they said in condensed form, Gita is giving. So Gita is so important. When he was a wandering monk, he used to go in different parts of India, Swami Vivekananda used to carry Gita always with him. So that is why it says, see, why not perform work as the Janaka did? So it will help you, it will help the society. Swami Vivekananda said, addressing the monks, When Vivekananda was introducing this thing, it was completely new, again new, in the Indian society. And naturally the objection was tremendous. And Swami Vivekananda said to the Swamis, thousands and they are there, thousands and thousands of sannyasis. You have seen at least the picture, when there is a kumbha is there, thousands they will go. He said, you are accepting the food from the society, shelter from the society, everything that you need to survive you are accepting from the society. What you are giving back? Why don't you go to the villages and teach the people how to develop this slowly the morality? If they had listened to the Swami Vivekananda, followed the instruction of Swami Vivekananda, the thousands of sannyasis going to the villages and teaching the morality in the society, of course you should do all this work. Of course you should perform this work. At the same time, you should be highly moral, otherwise you are going to suffer. Now think of the India, moral India, active India, performing everything at the same time. They are not having any problem, the worldly and things. So that is called that the way Swami Vivekananda is teaching the Karma Yoga. So I was joking to those people. See, if they had followed Swami Vivekananda's teaching, then Modi would have been our present Prime Minister. Naturally, he need not to do all this type of things because the morality would have been prevailed in the society. Why there is no morality? Because they have not followed the scripture, the instructions of the holy people. Shall I stop for some time? Chalche. All right? Now, it says that yad yadacharati shrestha. This you have to understand. Yad yadacharati shrestha tattadevi itaro janaha sayat pramanam kurute lokas tadanuvartate tad anuvartate. They follow that. Anuvartate. What? Whatever the great people are performing, doing. And that is the reason I have seen. This is very, very simple. The cleanliness, where from we learn? In the school and other places. I have noticed in our movie, in our cinema, the great actors and actresses, when they are opening an envelope, they just open that, tear that and throw that later on the floor. And they are not conscious by that way, they are teaching the thousands of the people who are illiterate, follow them only as their ideal, that they should not do it. They say, oh, the great that actor he did, so I can also do that. They are going on smoking and spitting and throwing the butts and all these things, so that is followed. Ki holo? ব্যাটারি কমে গেছে? Forget it. আচ্ছা। তাহলে চুপ করে বসো, হ্যাঁ, যা হবে হবে, রেকর্ড হবে কি হবে না, কিন্তু তোমরা একটু চুপ করে বসো। Yad yadacharati shreshta tattadeve tarojana sayat pramanam kurute lokas tadanu vartate. This is very, very important. If a person is doing, the person who is having some acceptance in the society, whatever he or she does, that is followed by the society. So one must be very, very careful when they are performing like this. And the same thing come down ultimately to the family level, whatever the father, the mother, the uncle, they are doing. The children follow that. And the greater society, the leaders, whatever they are doing, the followers, they do the same thing. And at the same time, those who are highly accepted in the society, it is their responsibility to always say and do those things which will be beneficial for the society. So this is the wonderful teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. Now here, after saying that, Sri Krishna said his own example. Name parthasti kartyabhyam trishu lokeshu kinchana. O Partha, I have no duty, nothing that I have not gained. I have no duty in this world. Name parthasti kartyabhyam trishu lokeshu kinchana. Nothing, not the minutest thing in this world to perform, because if I do this, people will accept me, or they will praise me, and all this. Nothing is there. I have created this world. What I am going to get from this world? And sometimes I tell myself that we have renounced this world. So obviously, I am not expecting anything from this world. I have renounced. Nobody forced me. I have renounced. Now if I feel sorry for something that I could not achieve, that is foolishness. Why should I feel like that? If somebody is having something, that is his luck, good, go ahead. I don't care. So that is the main thing. So it says, Nami parthasti kartyabhyam trishu lokeshu kinchana. Here he says to give the emphasis in three worlds, Sarga, Martha and Patala. The nether world and this middle world and also the heaven. I don't care anything. Nana vyaptam avaptyam cha vartma eva cha karmani. And there it says that I have to gain in the three worlds, yet I continue to action. I don't want anything in this three world, but at the same time, I am not inactive. I am going on performing everything as long as it is necessary. That is the most important thing. So whenever we are doing something, and suppose particularly in the organization, whenever the order comes that you have to move that from there to other place, immediately we withdraw our mind. Oh, that is okay. Now the table which I used to keep very nicely, now let it be like this, because the next man who will come, let him do. And the painting of the house, and it is a very good system in America. When you are leaving the room, you have to keep it back as it is, as you got it, and more clearly. And in our country, see, we are habituated not to follow any rule. So naturally, before going, I have seen people breaking the walls. So why? Next people, let them do. We were so happy over here, now they are giving the transfer from here to other place. So when we came, it was so dirty, we made it all this thing. Why should we leave it for the other one? Let him come and suffer. So what a mentality. But these people regularly go to temple. These people regularly chant Bhagavad Gita. These people regularly go and, so is this religion? We are not learning anything from this. So this is the thing, very, very practical religion. We must have to learn this. Whether out of 100 people, if 99 are not doing, I will do. This clapping is not for me. If the 99 people are not doing, I should do. And that is called the strength. Swami Vivekananda asked Sri Ramakrishna asked Vivekananda, suppose all the people are opposing you, because the religious things means in righteous way you have to go. Suppose all the people are opposing, what you will do? I don't care. I will go. Then he quoted a verse. Then Sri Ramakrishna told, no, not that much. Hathi chale bajar mein kutta bhoge hajar. When an elephant is moving in the marketplace, the hundreds of the dogs, street dogs, they may bark, but the elephant never bother about them. Then Sri Ramakrishna, not that much, he said. So this way, when we are going, we should go, I am performing this, I will do that, because this is my religion, I am going to perform. And here in the 23rd he said, Yadi aham nabarteyam jatu karman atandritaha mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvashaha. If I don't do, then people will say, look, the Krishna, the great ideal of the Hindu society, human society, he never performed any work. So why should I do? Immediately when I am doing, they are not following. But if I don't do, they will follow. And they will quote me again and again. So naturally the human mind always, they want to escape that. But to achieve the great goal, you have to be up and doing. You have to be hero, otherwise it is impossible. So that he said, though I don't have anything to achieve in this world, but I go on continuing. Why I do this? Because I love them. I know if I am not doing, they will follow me in that way. So I must perform that. And Swami Vivekananda said, Shirdartha Sardar. So when a person is becoming a leader in the society, whether political or social or whatever, he must perform in such a way so that people will appreciate and follow him. And so in the 23rd it says, if ever I did not continue in work without relaxation, the men would in every way follow me, and they will naturally blame me. See, he has not done, why should you do? Then in the 24th sloka it says, Utsideshu ime loka nakuryam karma chedaham shankarasya chakartyasam upohannam ima prajaha. If I did not do work, these worlds will perish. I should be the cause of the admixture of races, and I should ruin these beings. Here the Krishna said, I. Why? In that society, Krishna was highly accepted. And some people, when they discuss about the historicity of Rama, they never ask any question about Krishna. Because Krishna's history, Rama was much earlier than the Krishna, but the Krishna's historicity is established. And Krishna was accepted in all over the Indian society. There were other kings who used to take the name Krishna. There was a king, I think in Bengal and in the part of Assam, in the eastern part of India. He also took the name Krishna, but he was not at all a good person. But he used to say, I am a Krishna. When a person is very famous, naturally many people, they take that names. That proves Krishna was so famous. And a great personality like Bhishma, he said, always go to Krishna. whatever he says and does, it is all religion. So Krishna was accepted in the society, and Krishna was conscious about that. Very much conscious, because he was the God himself. The society now accepting him as the God. And this Krishna is telling that if I did not do work, these worlds would perish. Why? Because what type of work he is doing? Supporting the good and destroying the bad. Dharma sthapana. That was the system that he adopted to establish the dharma, righteousness in the society. And particularly, he was not fighting with all people. He was punishing only those kings who became very egoistic and who were imposing all the immoral things in the society because they were powerful. So it became the responsibility of the divine incarnation Krishna to punish them, to establish the dharma. And when you see in the work of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, that time the kings were not there, but corrupted minds were there. They were educated people, rich people, influential people, but they were corrupted people. Why corrupted? They were always thinking about themselves, not the betterment of the society. So obviously, it was the responsibility of the another incarnation who came in the form of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna to establish right thinking process, not fighting or killing or removing, right thinking process. If we compare, if we see how the dharma sthapana, and Sri Ramakrishna didn't kill anyone, but he removed all the bad thoughts from the mind of the people who were leaders. And that is the reason he used to visit to those people who were more influential in the society, in then society, like Keshav Chandra Sen, Vidya Sagar, and also Debendranath Thakur, and all those people in and around Dakshineshwar, Sri Ramakrishna used to visit. Along with that, all the religious people who used to claim that we are the religious leaders used to go and visit them and to rectify their ideas. Oh, you are thinking in this way? You can think in this way also. And he used to perform that. So that is called dharma sthapana. Afterwards, Swami Vivekananda said, Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarva dharma sarupine. He came, he invented, he took the human form to establish dharma. And naturally, many people they ask questions, but that time Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, all were in prevail. That was there, all dharmas were there. What type of dharma Sri Ramakrishna established? This pure, clean conception. And he said, if you can see God with closed eyes, can't you see God with open eyes? And on the basis of that, Swami Vivekananda introduced Karma Yoga, and he said, service to man is service to God. So that is the wonderful Karma Yoga we find. And in the 25th sloka it says, Sakta karman avidyamso yatha kurvanti bharata kuryad vidyams tatha shakta chikirshu loka samgraham. As do the unwise attached to work. So he is not giving the different type of work. Those who are religious people, they should do only this work. And those who are unwise, not religious, their work is like this. He didn't give that. He is not making any difference in the work. So this is to be noted. This is very important point in the Karma Yoga, and the third chapter that we are studying in the Bhagavad Gita. He said, as do the unwise attached to the work, and so should the wise act without attachment. And O descendant of the Bharata, without attachment, desirous of the guidance of the world. So, same thing when you are doing without attachment, same thing become religious work. And when doing the same thing with attachment, it becomes worldly work. So, this is the very subtle situation, and whoever is trying to perform karma yoga, which is very, very important in our present day society, because we cannot stop without working, and if we do it with unattached way, that becomes the spiritual work, religious work. And I will conclude, there are two words they use always in the Sanskrit, loka sanghatta and loka samgraha. This loka samgraha, this word has been used in Bhagavad Gita. Samgraha means when I am doing something for the benefit of others in a very disciplined way. The loka samgraha, for the benefit of the people, benefit of the human society, but performing with a very disciplined way. A sanghatta without any discipline. That creates a unnecessary problem, tension in the human society. So that is called loka sanghatta and loka samgraha. When the rishis, when the religious people, they go to the society, they give the discourses and they ask people to follow the righteous path, loka samgraha. When some people they go and talk about religion and create problem in the society, create some type of disbelief in the different type of communities, loka sanghatta, it's not samgraha. So again, this I will just quote from the Bhagavata, and the great sage Kapila, when he mentioned with great sadness to his mother Devahuti, he said, Prayena Deva Munaya Samukti Kama Maunam Charanti Bijane Na Parartha Nishtha, not for the betterment of others, the great souls. They always go to Bijane, in a secluded place, samukti kamaha, for his own liberation. But they never feel for the others who are suffering in the world. They never come back and give them that education. And this is the Prahlada also said in the Bhagavata. This is mainly Prahlada in the Bhagavata he said. So they are the rishis, the sages, they are practicing mauna brata. They don't talk. Silence they are following. Whenever people are going to them, they are turning their face. They don't like to look at them. But they are great sage. Nothing is going to harm them. No one can influence them. Why don't they come back to the society and give the proper education in the high moral values? And their lives will show them. So that he said, I am very sorry to know about it, and this is the main theme of the Karma Yoga. We will explain the other 4 slokas, 26 to 30, and then study the another slokas in the next month. And that will be the new year with new vigor, with new determination. We will try to understand this wonderful yoga that is Karma Yoga. Let us conclude with this sloka. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Maruta Stunnanti Divyai Stavai Vedai Sangha Padakramopanishadai Gayanti Yam Samaga Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam Navidu Sura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namah. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat.